You know, I kind of started this a little bit early because I wanted to see if the stream was going to be like it was, what was it, yesterday? If it was going to crash or is going to give some problems. You guys know how it goes for real. Good evening to you. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to JJ's PC Build. You know it is JJ with you once again. First time here, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Don't forget about the notification. Tonight, you guys are wondering, and I threw everybody for a loop. But before I get to it, don't forget your drink and snacks, by the way. I ain't got no ice because the ice machine took a dump on us, but anyway, don't forget it. I got mine. Now that I threw you guys for a loop, it's just like the title said. It's the subscribers, the viewers. It's your guys' turn to tell me what kind of experiences you've been having on your PC. It's time for us as reviewers to recognize, the subscribers, the viewers. It's time to recognize you guys and you guys to get up into the live chat. This is because I'm doing it real time. Live chat. I want to hear what problems you've been having with your PC. I see everybody leaving a lot of different messages on different videos. But I think tonight it's time to address some of these issues. And I know a lot of you guys have been addressing the issue of NVIDIA and their driver series. And there's a lot of you that were addressing AMD and, their new 9060 8GB card. There's a lot of people been addressing Microsoft Windows 11 about the new 25H2 upgrade. There is a lot of things out there that's being addressed. And nobody knows what's going on with NVIDIA's Super Series. There's rumors and tales about AMD coming out with the newfangled processor that's going to blow our socks off. There's a lot of talk about, well, that's because they're talking about AM6 and AM7. Woo! There's a lot of people talking about a lot of things. But the one thing they're not addressing that we're going to address tonight, and believe it or not, it's 2 minutes to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I started a little bit early because I wanted to see if my stream was going to act like a boob. And you can't have a stream acting like a boob. So I'm making sure I got devices here that's going to tell me if we crash. And if it does, I will fix it and I will come back. I know what the problem is. It's not my PC. It's my camera. Ever since Microsoft updated their driver software and removed some of the legacy software, my camera was a part of that legacy software, so I had to take and bump and grind just to find some software that will work with it so you guys can see me. Yes, I am in the process of working on getting a new camera. I think we did that on, we were looking on the last live show, what was it, yesterday about that? Don't worry, we'll get a camera. We'll get one that's pretty good, that's going to last quite a while. This one did last quite a while. It lasted maybe about a whole year. I think about a whole year, maybe about 2. Maybe about a year and a half. But it lasted quite a while. So I'm pretty happy with that, truthfully. I'm really happy with that. But I'm hoping we get everybody in here. I hope everybody joins us and sticks around. I hope you guys understand I'm not making this about me. I'm not making it about this channel. I am making it about the viewers and the problems they are having with their PCs. It could be AMD, it could be NVIDIA, it could be Intel. It's always going to be Intel for now, until they get it fixed. I'm not hating on Intel. I know about half the population's hating on Intel right now. But I wish they would kind of see it from a business sense on Intel's side, but I'm not sticking up for them, guys. I'm just telling facts, not fiction. Just like with NVIDIA, they're going to be crapping out new cards. Are they going to be good enough? That's going to be the question. Soon as the Super Series goes out, AMD's already going to bust out with something new. So, 2026 and 2027, I have a feeling it's going to be a great year. But I'm going to bring my monster. My monster little benchmark right here. My monster little benchmark. Right here. That's a monster. And yes, I still got it on a cardboard box. You wouldn't be a reviewer if you don't put it on your cardboard box. I told you guys the last time I was going to show you this. And this is my testing bench. I call it the Grim Reaper. Because of the green and all that, the green and black. I call it the Grim Reaper. I like it. Hello, it's 5 a.m. over here. I set the alarm for this. Hello, MTBK. Welcome back. AMD doesn't even need to release a new product when the super refresh comes out. They just need to drop the price of their current product stack. Well, I kind of think that's what NVIDIA is doing. And I do agree with you. But if you watch Graphics Card Nightmares, I seen a 9070 XT for $700. Don't care for the brand too much, but I seen it down to $700. Why am I mentioning that, you're saying? Well, if it's running neck and neck with the, what's it, 5070 Ti, and that was supposed to be at $750, well, the 9070 XT is at $700, $50 cheaper than the MSRP on the 5070 Ti. I kind of think that was kind of edging just to be a little bit better of a deal. I seen that earlier on Newegg today. Just figured I'd mention it. Somebody's looking for a 9070 XT. You might want to take a gander over there to Newegg. Amazon, I'm kind of shaky moment. Now everybody's starting to call it Scamazon, believe it or not. They're calling it Scamazon. It seems that I think it was over, and quote me if I'm wrong about this, it was over in Europe, I think. I think it was in Europe. Some guy got what was it, a 5090 or something like that? And he opened up the box. It was brand new and had just opened it up. He got a box of salt. So if you get a 5090, take it with a grain of salt. That's basically what it meant. So I was shocked to see that. Seriously, I was shocked to see that. Somebody putting a salt bag in there, basically trying to tell that person, take it with a grain of salt. You ain't getting a 5090. Or was it a 5080? 5090, 5080, it's still the matter of the point. So, I know y'all don't like my Grim Reaper test bench, but I gave it a name. Because everybody sits there and says to me, you can't take a server grade processor in game with it. I already did. Some people were telling me you can't take ECC RAM and game with it. I already did. So, for a low budget test bench, it did good. I'm proud of it. Little bit of a creation on my part, but I like it. It might not be a 9800 X3D, but it is a test bench. Even though that I know it's not going to push the card to its extreme, but the card still is at 100%. So the card that's on there now is pushed to 100% with that processor. I know when I was testing it, I was watching it. I thought it was cool. Y'all were watching it. I was doing it that night on Cyberpunk. And that's the one that I got Linux on. What I'm going to have to do is wipe out the drive and put Linux back on again, because I'm fully taking Windows completely off of that drive. Total bust for me. So I'm going to end up having to make a Windows operating system bench and a Linux bench. So I got two benches. Now, to make them identical, I don't know. So, but I got a good answer for this. Instead of building a whole new bench, I'm just going to use one. And you guys ask me, well, how am I going to do that? Well, we got what we call SSDs. So if I put Windows operating system for that little potato, and I put Windows 11 on it, on one of the SSDs, and then on the other SSD, I just leave Linux on it. So it's got a full drive of 1 terabyte for Linux. It's got 1 terabyte for Windows. So that way, when you load up the games, there ain't no problem. So, just swap drives. Load up the games on one, load up the games on the other, and just swap the drives. Make sure they're the exact same drives and test the drives to make sure the drives are giving you the same response, close to by 0.0001%, giving you the same conclusion. But you can do it. I had a problem with Windows on Linux Mint on the same drive. It just, to me, it's not subtle to me. I'd rather have the drive both drives separate on the same bench. All I gotta do is swap out the drives. That's simple. So, but it takes nothing away from the bench. All graphics cards operate off the same bench. Difference is, one will be Windows, one will be Linux. But enough about me. What are you guys doing? I know we were talking about the product stack, the super refresh, the product stack. Hey Dakota, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Actually, I can see you right here on my screen. I can see you right here on my phone. I got you everywhere. I can see you. So, just to let you know that. J. Thaniel. Thany. No, don't call me Fanny. No, don't call me J. Thany. Or no, J. Thaniel. Oh, I got you. I feel watched. Of course, brother. Of course, you're always watched. Everybody watches me, you know. Everybody. I got 6 people watching me now, but I only got you responding. Can you figure that one out? You guys can't hide behind, you know, the curtain here. You got to start stepping up and getting into the chat. You got to step up and get into the chat. You guys can collaborate with each other. That's the good part. That's the reason why I'm doing this. We're all collaborating. It seems like it's weird, but you know what? Nobody else does it. But I do. I'm not trying to make this live stream about me. I'm trying to make it about you guys. But you guys got to step up and talk to me about this. One, I already know that everybody's going to be like, oh my God, really? Some people don't have hands, so they can't type in chat. This is true. But if you hit, what is it, Windows H at the same time, you can voice chat right on the screen. You can voice chat right on the screen. I'm going to give you guys an example, because I don't think anybody's really paying attention to what I'm saying about that. So, we are going to go to monitor 3. As you can see, we're here on monitor 3. Right? See this right here? This little dinky thing? Watch. Watch this. You see, I can type whenever I want. And however I want. But I'm just trying to bring it to you guys. I can type hands-free. LOL. Period. There. Now you guys get the point. Now you guys get the point. There you go. See? That's very accommodating, don't you think? Let's see. Very interesting. You taught me something today. What did I teach you, bro? That you can type hands free? Oh my God. I think everybody will fall apart if they see this. And believe it or not, Microsoft implemented this back about what? 6, 8 months ago? Somewhere in there. 6 or 8 months. So you can type completely hands-free when it comes to your PC. You know, because you might be writing somebody some newsletters or something like that, but seriously, what are my thoughts on Livono laptops? Hi, Cyborg. Good to see you, man. Dakota, when it comes to laptops, I've seen quite a few. You're right, Cyborg. Get your drinking snacks. When it comes to laptops, I've seen quite a few. The one thing I've never sampled yet is the new laptops that are not integrated graphics. You know, the ones with the separate GPU built into them. I haven't experienced that yet. But with integrated graphics, I've played it on Second Life. I really didn't care for it. To me, it was like running a dinosaur on a treadmill. You asked me, and I'm telling you, it's like it was like running a dinosaur on a treadmill to me. I'm the kind of person that likes a lot of power. You know, like the desktops. I would like a little bit more power, please. You know, if I could stick a 10,000 watt power plant in my PC with pulling 5,000 watts of power, yeah, I like a big old power plant to it. Trust me. But they don't make them that big. Well, yeah, they do make them that big. Damn. I keep forgetting. NVIDIA makes them big. That big. So does AMD. So does Intel. Damn, they got the fat systems, don't they? Makes me feel like I'm running a turtle, man. You had to bring all that up? Damn, why'd you bring that up? Look, I'm going to tell you guys like this. Get your Milo. Get your energy. Get it now. I'm getting my energy right now because I'm not going to sit here, drag butt through this 2 hours. I'm going to pee in the cup. No, don't pee in the cup, by the way. Put that little squeeze in there. Mix it up till we get a whole lot of purple goodness. And no, this ain't Barney. You can't call this a purple Barney. Don't even go there. So, as far as laptops, I would like to experience one that has the CPU separate from the GPU. I like to see one with 16 gigabytes of VRAM. I like to see one that has 64 gigs of, hard drive, not hard drive, 64 gigs of system RAM, and at least 8 terabytes of SSD. 8 terabytes of SSD. That's pulling about 175 to about 190 watts. Minimal. But has a big old blower fan that's pushing about maybe 12,000 RPMs per you guys know. Runs at 12,000 RPMs. Makes the computer sound like, the laptop sound like a jet engine. That's a laptop. But I know Dell would never come up with none of that. I know Livono would never come up with none of that. I know Hewlett Packard never come up with none of that. So you got to sneak over to one of these AIB partners and say, hey dudes, buy me one of these, give me one of these computers here. The ones that are going to blow my socks off. You know, the ones that are going to rack up my power bill. You know, the ones that are going to, after 6 months, going to break down. You know, those kind of laptops. You ask, you shall receive. So, to me, laptops are built for people on the go. People in small spaces, you know, like that. Me, on the other hand, I'm built for desktop. I mean, I'm built for desktop. So, even though I got one little space right here, one little space, I got 1, 2, 3 monitors, 1 computer, 1 camera, 1 keyboard, 1 mouse, 1 phone, bunch of boxes, which all the parts are in use. Believe it or not, all the parts I had, you know, the boxes I have here, all the parts are in use. Can't beat that. But like I said, I'm not here to talk about me, guys. I'm here to talk about you. I'm here to find out what's in your marble. I'm here to hear you and what's in your brain pan to let me know what time it is with your PC. If you got a PC, you can talk about it. If you're having problems with it, let us know what kind of problems. If it's a driver problem with NVIDIA, step in line, because I hear everybody's in line for that one. If it's a driver problem with AMD, again, stand in line. Hearing a lot of problems about that too. Maybe some people don't have problems. Oh, got an itch. Maybe some don't have problem with AMD graphics cards, but some do. That's because of platform issues. I need an upgrade. Bro. Dakota, my friend. You and your 4090. You don't need an upgrade. You just need a big game to play, that's all. Something that's going to blow your mind with that 4090. Not unless your processor's not up there, my friend. Which I think you said you have a 14900 KS. Needs to be a 5090. Oh, I get you now. Needs to be a 5090. Truthfully, I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't touch anything on the 50 series. Not one thing. Nada. Not one thing. You're probably going to ask me why. I'm waiting for it. So, you know, I'll tell you why in a moment. You can ask, but I'll tell you why in a moment. Oh, I thought it was the 14900 KS. My bad. That would have been a... Oh, sorry. That would have been a good upgrade, though. That would have been a decent upgrade. Or you can go the Core 9 285K. You can go that one. That's an upgrade. If you want to stay with Intel. Because right now, that's their best. Is the Core 9 285K. Yeah, now you're getting there. Now you're getting there. You get all the perks with the 40 series, you just don't see it just yet. You get all the perks with that 40 series. I'm just waiting for one thing. I'm just waiting for them to release the driver for smooth motion. And the only thing that I don't have that the 50 series has is multi-frame generation. But I got the transformer model and I got all the rest of the stuff. I mean, 2X, that's fine with me. CNN model, that's fine with me. Either way I look at it. I'll make it past the 60 series to the 70 series. On my lonely old 4070 with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. So I don't have to stress out about mine. Fake frames, you're right. You do have the Supreme 4090, the Supreme X 4090, and you say wait until the 6000 series. I say they say 6000. Everybody, some people say 6000. I say 60 series. I say it's the 60. But you're right. I shouldn't say it's the 6000. Well, no, I can't say it's the 6000 series. I have to say it's the 60 series for the simple fact they have the Pro 6000. So I can't say it's the 6000 series. We don't even know if it's going to be the 6000 series because they got the Pro line out for the 6000. So, and that's what? Blackwell? So, we don't even know if it's going to be 6000 anymore. So confusing. But we'll get it. In theory, if they don't fail, these i7s and even the Ultra 7s are good. Yeah, if they don't fail. A little less L3 cache, but still the same amount of performance cores. You're right, MTBK. Nova Lake is expected to have 8 big cores with the Ultra 5. Okay, so that's more or less saying like the 9800 X3D with 8 big cores and 16 threads. But with their big 8 cores, they're going 16. No, they're going 8P cores. I think they said 16 E cores and 4 of the other cores. Am I wrong about this? Let me know if I am. So, yeah, 50 series is nothing, a nothing burger. Yeah. Blackwell. You guys are bad. So you guys see the point. You've already got the point, and that's the point I've been making, is that the people on the 40 series banked out because of the software. So we get another breath of fresh air into the lungs of our GPUs for another year or two. So that's cool enough. So when it comes to the Rubin series, it's going to be Rubin and Vera. I know y'all heard about it. The Rubin Vera series. The Vera was supposed to be their new CPU, or their CPU link or whatever. And you got Vera was the GPU. So, no, Vera wasn't GPU. Rubin was the GPU and Vera's the CPU. Yeah, something like that. We want more potent silicon. Yeah, I agree with that. We don't want third grade silicon. We're out of elementary school. We want to go up to high school now. We don't want no third grade silicon. We want the cherry-picked silicon that they cherry-pick for their machine learning. We want that silicon. And we want it molded and converted into a gaming GPU. You think they're actually going to do it? Probably not. You think we'll actually see something good past 60 series? I don't know. We don't even know the nanometer that 60 series is going to be running on either. Oh, it could be 3 nanometers. Could be 3 nanometers. But AMD says they want to skip the 3 nanometer process and go to 2. Or was that Intel? I think Intel was working on the 1.4 nanometer process. But they had no buyers. See, that's the bad part. They had no buyers. Was it like the 14A? Supposed to be the 1.4 nanometer silicon? But they have no buyers. So they might discontinue that. But that would be cool to be at 1.4 nanometers, but there's a problem. Stability problems. When you're getting close to 1 nanometer or less, you're going to run into stability problems. Because of the heat, the magnetic fields, the noise, it now makes the transistors unstable because they made it so small that, you know, they're not stabilizing. I don't know what they're going to do. I really think what they should do is go down to 2.5 nanometers and stop there until they can come up with a stable version for anything lower than that. I think the lowest they should go is 2.5 nanometers. The lowest. Because anything lower than that, I think, is unstable. Plus, they could pack a hell of a lot more transistors onto one chip, give us better performance, and stop sucking us dry like vampires. And I'm waiting to see an emoji of a vampire up there too. I'm waiting for you guys to put a vampire emoji up there. I really am. Because these companies are being nothing but vampires. We're getting trickles of performance. I'm sorry, I'm gonna break the ice right here. Every generation should jump 100% in performance. So when it comes to the next generation, if they're going to go down that far, it should be over 100% plus performance. So they should give us 100% more performance, plus give us an additional 40%. So basically 140% performance. Instead of trickling all this little stuff, they want to charge you $5,000 for a GPU. Make it worth it. Make it worth the price of admission. It's not. It's not worth the price of admission. You guys know that as well as I do. No one's saying anything. I'm waiting for you guys to say something. I'm just, seeing what's going on with y'all. Hey, Machine, good to see you. Good to see you, my man. How was work? How'd you do? Did you survive? Question mark. Let me know. I got the big eye right now. Let me know. So, you didn't miss anything, bro. You did not miss a thing. They were talking about laptops and what I thought about a laptop. I told them what I thought about a laptop, that it needs more power. Then we talked about the Intel chips. And your work suck. That's work, normal. They all suck, so. Hey, so just buy the cheapest hardware or the one with the best price to performance ratio. Because we don't get 140% uplift in each generation now. Bro, we don't even get 10% uplift of anything now. On a scale, on a PC scale, a PC scale goes from 1 to 10. They're sitting on a scale of a 2. They're sitting on a scale of a 2, which they should be up past a 10 when it comes to performance, but they're not. I judge the performance on what I can see. And I tell you guys what I can see. How's the research going on the cam? Well, bills came up, so guess what? I had to put it on hold. But we're still looking at cams and we're still seeing where we're going to go with it. I'm still trying to decide. Just let you know that there, Cyborg. Typical GPU generation uplift 30%. That's the GPU generation. That's not individual GPUs. Compare that to last generation. I'm only getting like what? Between the 4070 and the 4070 Super, there's what, only a 16% difference? Between the 4070 Super and the 5070, there's only what? a 15% difference. So you break that down, depending on the games, it could range from 7 to 15% in real world numbers. So, well, that's measuring from a 1080 to a 2080 Ti. Okay, this is measuring from a 40 series card to a 50 series card, and there's not that much uplift. I'm not worried about what's in the past. I'm worried about what's coming into the future. That's what everybody else is worried about, because the way the games are now these days, you have to know what you're going to be buying, because these games become more demanding. I can't rely on yesterday's numbers. Everybody has to rely on today's numbers and what's tomorrow going to bring. The people right now that are using the yesterday's cards are feeling the sting, and that's why they're trying to upgrade to the next series, to the next best thing. I've heard it from many people right now, and they talk to me. They tell me, they say, hey, what should I do? Should I stay on a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old cards? Or should I just upgrade to the next best thing? Well, you got a lot of options for the next best thing. If you want to do, like, let's say the 9060 XT, 16 gigabytes. It's still a good deal. It's still within less than, it's less than $400, $30 less than $400, but it will still get you where you need to go. Or if you don't want to put that $400 there, add $3 more $100 to it and go get yourself a 9070 XT. That'll give you 5070 Ti performance, and go from there. So 3070 to a 4070 was also around 30%. Well, see, the 3070 can't be compared to the 4070, because the 3070 has what, 8 gigabytes of VRAM compared to the 4070, which has got 12 gigabytes of VRAM, which the 3070 is on GDR6 and the 4070 is on GDR6X. So you're looking at something with the memory running at 18 gigabits per second compared to something that's running at 20 gigabits per second. There's kind of a difference there, a big gap between the two. So yeah, there's going to be a 30% gap. I understand. So we can debate all day long about the 30% marks, but when it comes to generation, it's only like some going back from day one to now. The day ones, yeah, there's wider gaps, but now it's shorter, it's smaller gaps. So going from 40 series to 50 series, there's a smaller gap. Now we're wondering what's going to happen on the 60 series. Is it going to be the same smaller gap? I don't compare the 10 series, the 20 series, or the 30 series to the 40 series or the 50, because software has changed. You got different architectured software. So what's meeting the closest is the 40 series to the 50 series. Now you can't say, well, you can probably say the 20 series and the 30 series, but you can't say the 30 series to the 40 or 50 series, because now you're going to a whole different architecture and software. So there's some things that the 30 series can't do that the 40 series can do, but there's some things that the 40 series can't do that the 50 series can do. But there's something, you know, it's a mess. It is a mess right now. So the 6080 will be lucky to be on par with the 4090. You might be right there. You might be right there. Because we didn't see no better uplift with the 50 series. So the 60 series might be for machine learning. Now, if you remember, I think there was a video done on this, that they said the 5080 and the 5090 was pushed more towards machine learning than it was gaming. That was their quote. That the 4070, or not, 5070 series was going to be more towards gaming. So now the 5060 and the 5070 series was supposed to be towards gaming. The 5080, 5090 was supposed to be pushed more towards machine learning and content creating and all that good stuff. But they weren't nailing it towards gaming. That's what it was supposed to be. That's what they said before the launch. And then when everybody started testing the 5080 and 5090, they found it to be somewhat semi-okay with games. But they didn't like the fact of that the ROPs were missing. 8 ROPs were missing. They didn't like that. And on top of that, the whole 50 series has no PhysX 32-bit. Taken fully away from the 50 series. But the 40 series still has it. The 40, and some people can say, oh, the PhysX back 20 years and this, they don't really care about PhysX anymore. Okay, well, you know what? There are still people out there that run PhysX. Like me, I still run PhysX on certain games. Might sound crazy, but I want the PhysX. Unless they come out with the 64-bit PhysX, I'm waiting. I haven't heard nothing about it. They say, oh yeah, 50 series got PhysX on it. Yeah, it doesn't got PhysX on it. That's already been proven. The 4090 is a better path tracing rendering card for workstation and gaming than the 5080. I can't disagree with that, Fake Frames. I can't disagree with that. I've seen the results on the 50 series. I didn't like any of it. You guys want me to be honest with you? I thought it was terrible. And I got an NVIDIA card. But this new generation was terrible. This was the worst launch they've ever had. But I'm not rocking the boat, and I'm not knocking NVIDIA. They'll come out of the slump. They'll get moving forward. We're just waiting to see what they're going to do next. That's all we're doing. So, I have a question for the chat. Oh, okay. Just want to know everyone's opinion. What Intel CPU is equal to the 9700X in gaming? Some say, well, looks like Fake Frame says the 14700K or 13700K would be the closest CPU in gaming. MTBK says it depends on the software, but I'd say the Core Ultra 7 265 box non-K version. The 5070 Ti is the only decent card that got an uplift over the previous 40 series card, other than the 5090. You know, it did, but it ain't kicking. Because if you got the 9070 XT nipping at its heels, as far as rasterization, I wouldn't say ray tracing so much about the 5070 Ti. But as far as rasterization, it's meeting the barrier with the 5070 Ti. Yeah, but you said it, and Machine, you said on some of the games yourself. Some of them can reach up to 16 gigabytes. Even on your 7900 XT, it's reaching close to what, 18 gigabytes of VRAM on the games? So you can't really say that right now that the 16 gigabyte is the sweet spot, which, as far as the newest games, they're kind of tipping the scales. The 9070 XT is nipping at the heels of the 5080. It's that damn overhead. Yep. But look at it this way. I found one for $700 on, was it Newegg? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys what I found. See if I find it again. Well, hell, I'll just take you guys with me. Go to monitor 3. Look at this. 9070 16 gigabytes, 600 bucks. So $600 ain't bad. 769, 809, 749. 719, 699.99, right here. Ugly ass card too. $700 for a 9070 XT 16 gigabyte. $700. This is worth the price of admission. Especially if you say it's reaching up to a 5080, to a $1,400 card. So half the price for the same performance? Guys, where am I going wrong with this? Same performance, half the price. Where can you go wrong with it? Yep, machine. That's what I was talking about. Right there. I know you like the ASRock card, but I still, they put them greenish looking, they make it look like it's a leprechaun done took a dump on it. That's what it looks like to me, is a leprechaun took a dump on it. So it would look good in a white build, maybe. The 5080 is $1,000 now, but still, $300 savings for what? Let's see. Let's pull up the 5080, the RTX 5080. Let's go back and see it. Oh, this one's got a $200 promo code. 5080, 16 gigabytes. $200 promo code. That makes it down to, from 1,500 down to 1,300. Look at this. 1,300. Where the hell's the savings? There is none. There is no savings. $1,300. $1,470. $1,600. Look at this. $1,550. Pre-built with the 9800X3D, $3,000 with the 5080. There you go. Here's a laptop. A Hussey T8 Pro 16. GeForce RTX 5080 laptop GPU. Intel 9. 14900HX at 5.8 gigahertz. AI gaming laptop. 32 gigs DDR5. 2 terabyte SSD. 16-inch 240 hertz QHD. 100% sRGB. Look at this. $2,490. So you got to spend almost $2,500 for this. Yeah. Let's see what Mr. Machine popped in. Well, that's PNY, brother. That's a PNY for $1,000. But still, that's a PNY for $1,000. Truthfully, a lot of people told me about the PNY graphics cards. Somebody peed on those graphics cards, so I don't know about PNY. I need to get the waifu one. What is the bus width difference between the two? Don't know. I gotta look. One has your favorite power connector. Yeah, but I'm looking at the 9070 XT, bro. Just because it's got a little $300 less, and it doesn't carry that nasty connector, and I don't have to worry about it burning up. And there's a 50-50 chance it could happen on a 5080. So I take my chances where I take my chances, if you know what I mean. These RTX 5080s have a high idle power in Tech Power Up. Reviews much like the 5070 Ti's. Price to performance is worse. But if I had to pick one, it might be a 5080 still, starting out at 1,029 euros. Luckily, I don't have to upgrade this generation. That's cool. It's still $999 basic. Yeah, bro. I understand it's still $999 basic. And it has faster VRAM, better RT. Yeah. But I'm hearing a lot of people trading in their graphics card for a 9070 XT. I wonder why. I'm sure we all know why. I mean, if you're not into ray tracing, rasterization, I'm not going to knock it. Truthfully. It would be an upgrade for you in many cases, but you too can always wait another generation unless you want more data. Better encoders, better decoders. Bro, my 4070's got great encoders and decoders. Right now, I'm live streaming on AV1 NVEC encoding and decoding, or whatever. It works. It works. I got rid of the little hiccup. Hopefully, for now. We've been going over an hour with no hiccups. So, I'm happy with that. Trust me. Okay. But I understand $1,000 for the 5090, the PNY 5090. That would be a good card if somebody was looking, you know, that's coming from, let's say, a 20 series card or a 10 series card, and they're looking just to go balls out, $1,000. After taxes, it'd probably be about, what, $1,129 or something like that after taxes. And you got to figure after the warranty, the 3-year warranty you're going to put on it, that's going to cost you a little bit there. So you're up to about almost $1,350, somewhere in there. So yeah, I understand. So your $1,000 card went up $300, basically. So basically, that's the reason why I said if you bought the 9070 XT for $700, by the time you get done, it's a $1,000 card. So now that $300 was well spent for the warranty. So now you guys will kind of see where I'm coming with that. Question. Best CPU for a 9070 XT for 1440p gaming? Well, we know it's going to be PCIe 5.0 x16. We know it's going to have to be a 5.0 motherboard. We know it's going to have 5.0 capabilities, and it's going to have system RAM up around 6,000 to 6,200, CL30. We know that it's going to end up having to be, at least if it's on the AMD side, it's going to have to be at least an 8-core 16-thread processor. So yeah, probably the 9700X. It's affordable. It's workable. It should handle it just fine. But make sure you're on an 800 series motherboard like an X870E. Something that can give you a little bit of flexibility with the 9700X, I think. But yeah, if I were to upgrade, that would be a good upgrade. So, yes, the machine, I'll tell you, the 9700X, you could run with the 9070 XT for 1440p. You could. Because do remember, even though that it doesn't have the X3D cache, it's still got it built on with the CCD. So it still has an advantage. You still got a little bit of wiggle room. Might be 36 megs, but it still will work. Especially and 4K. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. It should be able to handle it if it's a 9000 series chip. I can see if it's got 6 core 12 threads. Yeah, that's a big difference. But it's got 8 core 16 threads. It'll work. Look, I got a 5700X, bro. It's 8 core 16 thread. I mean, I'm on an NVIDIA graphics card. I can do DSR at 4K and rock with it all day long with the 5700X. So that 9700X would be a perfect upgrade for mine. Even if you're running a 7900 XT, or you're running the 4070 Super, or even if you're running the 5070 Super, or the 5080. Well, that's kind of pushing it. The 5070. And let's say they did a 5070 Super. That would be pushing it, but it would still handle it regardless. One high FPS and low CPU load. Well, future hardware. And now the only a 9950X3D, i9 14900K, or a Core Ultra 285K. Yeah, those are the 3 powerhouses that are on the market right now. The ones that can handle the maximum, as MTBK says. What are the specs of the 285K? Let's go look at the 285K. 285K. Let's see. We're on new Iggy, so I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Okay. Ultra Core 9 285K. Arrow Leg 24 core, 8P cores plus 16 E core. LGA 1851. 125 watt desktop processor. Does it give anything else about it? Let's see. Let's dig into it. Paired this CPU with a B580. I use my PC for CAD and gaming. It handles any task with ease and runs dead silent with an AIO cooler. Reviews. Never received, but Newegg appreciates my understanding in denying my claim. Oh, Newegg problem. So, specs. Let's see. There's the specs. Max Turbo, it looks like Intel Turbo Boost Max Technology 3.0, up to 5.6 gigahertz P-Core, up to 5.5 E-Core, up to 4.6. L2 is 40 megs, L3 is 36. Manufactured on a 3 nanometer process, 64-bit. Memory type 6400, looks like that's a sweet spot. Can handle 192 gigabytes of system RAM. PCI Express 5.0, 4.0. Max number of PCI lanes 24. Thermal design power 125. Max turbo 250. Launched on October the 10th, 2024. So, it is what it is. If you're going to go that route, you could probably get it cheaper than 560. So, but what I would do is I would go down to the 265 for 309. But you could get it a little cheaper with the KF. I would stick with the K version. You can overclock it a little bit better. Or you can go down to 265 and get a 245K. That's probably like way lower in cores. Let's see what it is. This little dot shit on my face. Okay, so 14 core, 6P core, 8E core, 125 watt. 3 nanometer process, 24 megs of L3, 26 megs of L2, integrated graphics. Not bad. You say the iGPU is about 4 times the size of your current CPU integrated graphics. Okay. 5.7 gigahertz. Well, I don't think this is bad. I don't think it's bad. Let's look at the reviews. Looks like somebody's got a name F-bomb. Imagine how many times that person's been mad. Wow. That's weird. Okay. This one says, very easy to install, tons of speed, very satisfied with the product, no cons. Yes, I would recommend the CPU. This is the second 9 series Intel CPU I have owned, starting with the 9900K. Intel has been rock solid for my builds in the past, although I did not own the 13th or 14th generation Intels. This Core Ultra 9 285K may have gotten bad reviews, but with some simple BIOS adjustments, which we know that, and fast CU DIMMs, this thing handles everything with ease. Paired with 48 gigabytes of V-Color DDR5 8800 CU DIMMs on a Gigabyte 570 Ti gaming OC. It's the best gaming system yet. I am glad I stayed with Intel for the reliability and the great experience. You guys tell me. That's just a review. Hello there, Force Gaming. Welcome to the live stream. Gotta go big or go home. Yeah, you're right there, MTBK. You gotta go big or go home. That's pretty big. If they're telling me that it got that kind of system with the 285K and 48 gigabytes of V-Color, don't think I ever heard of that brand. So let's investigate. Holy shit. Wow. $400 RAM. Wow. That is sick. As for $400, man. Damn. What do you all think of that? I mean, damn. Force Gaming says, after the 13th gen fiasco, I think I would stick with an AMD. But Intel sounds like it would be a good option for the price. Yeah. Especially when this person here spent $400. No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get up the calculator for this one. I know you guys like the calculator. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna calculate this. So the RAM alone he got was $400. Okay. So the RAM he got, and he got the Core Ultra 285K. We're gonna pick this apart. Okay, we'll do this on Amazon then. Go Amazon. We'll pick this apart. I'm like curious now. Wow, Amazon's really expensive. Well, let's just say I'm a nerd and I didn't know what I was buying and everything else, you know? Let's just say I'm a nerd and I didn't know what I was buying and everything else. And I got it for they got 20 used and new offers, so this don't look right. This looks right. So let's say I spent $590. So let's say I spent $590 on the CPU. So those two pieces alone, that's at $1,000. Okay, let's see what else we can get from this. The Gigabyte 570 Ti. Okay, so let's do this. Let's open up Amazon. We know they shop on Amazon, so we might as well stick with Amazon. And you guys are asking me, why am I doing this? Well, I'm kind of curious to see what they paid for their product. Let's see. So $970. This is not taxes, not shipping or handling and all that stuff. So let's say $970 for the graphics card. Wow. 3 pieces already. That's not even the motherboard. I can always do something else right now. Waiting another generation is fine for my end. Ain't even 64 gigabytes. Nope. If that thing does not have a 5090, he wasted some money. Yeah. Well, it's not. He actually, what he got was, he got the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 5070 Ti Gaming OC. That's what he got. $5072, yeah, right here. That's exactly the same one. So yeah. This is the second rock solid, quarter i9, you have bad reviews, but adjustments, fast seed dims, handling everything. But it doesn't say the board. So, doesn't say the motherboard or anything else. But all in all, he spent almost $2,000 on that. Just those parts alone. By the time it got done, he would have been all the way up to about maybe $3,800. By the time he got it all done, it would have been $3,800. So, what do you guys think? Am I just imagining or what? I'm just going to say it. He blew his budget on the wrong things. Yeah. I agree. But see, this is what happens out here. People don't get the gist of what to buy correctly because they hear it from other people. They say, buy this, buy this, buy this. And by the time they get done buying all their parts, they lost out on the good parts. And they paid a hefty price for it too. I mean, if you're going to buy a 5070 Ti, at least do yourself the favor and stay with the 12900 KS. At least. I wouldn't say that. I mean, you could get a 12900 KS and, you know, tune it up for AM5 instead of AM4. You can make it AM5 and then turn around, put 6000 series RAM in there. Could have did that. So for that hardware, I would assume he probably buy at least a $300 or $400 motherboard. Yeah, probably. For the cost of that build, I would say he would have been better off to getting a faster GPU with a cheaper platform with AM5. I agree. But guys, even with that, he could have got a 5080 platform, or he could have not a 58 platform. He could have got a 9800 X3D with a 5080, okay, and a decent motherboard, RAM, and everything else for that same price. And we just seen it not too long ago. We seen a pre-built. Remember, I showed you guys one pre-built. You know, let me see if I can find that pre-built again. Probably won't, but yeah, here we go. Right here. Ultra 9 285K RTX 5080 32 gigs DDR5 6000 2 terabyte $3,000. I think he would have saved himself an ass ton just to go with that right there. But he blew his budget on right here. $400 system RAM. $400 system RAM. Come on, man. That's crazy. You're going to spend $400 on your system RAM? Is that going to make it any better than the 6000? Is it going to make it run faster than the 6000? Probably not. Maybe. Shoot, he could have probably built a system with the 5080 or 90 with that price. Wasted money. Sounds like giving support for some woman's sport. Wow, that guy really did blow his budget. Hell, I found a 64 gig RAM kit at 6,000 speeds under $200. Man, look. I mean, look at this. Old PC. He definitely blew it. I mean, was 18 gigs worth the $400? That's what I don't understand. Was the 18 gigs worth? You could probably find it cheaper than this. But I'm just giving you guys the idea that he spent almost close to $4,000 with the 5070 Ti, man. With the 5070 Ti. With the 50 right here. And he could have got a system with the 5080. A 5080. It's not, I mean, I can't make shit up like this. You can't make this up. But I see this all day and night, man. I tell you guys this. I see this day in, day out. These are the things I see people say. So, I mean, you say on Intel, Core Ultra 285K RAM speeds makes much bigger difference than a Zen 5 or Zen 4 CPU. Since Intel can only run Gear 2 on DDR5. Yep. Which graphic card do you prefer? The 4060 or the 5070? Hello there, Enos. Welcome to the live stream. Truthfully, I would prefer the 4070 Ti Super. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But it would be the same. It would probably be around the same price as the 9070 XT 16 gigabyte. So maybe a little cheaper. I would, Force Gaming, listen. I wouldn't tell Enos the 5070 until the Super came out. Because remember, on the 40 series, when from the 4070 to the 4070 Super, what NVIDIA did was they dropped the price on the 4070 and then they put the 4070 Super at $600. So they put the 4070 at $550 and the 4070 Super at $600. They've already started dropping the 5070 down to $550, maybe a little less. But then that means that the 5070 Super with 18 gigabytes of 18 gigabytes of VRAM could be $600. I know it's a shot in the dark, but I'm going to tell you, I've seen this pattern before with NVIDIA many of times. And it looks like this pattern might go again with the 50 series. They can do the 5070 at a lower price and do the 5070 Super at $600. And they'll do it for a limited time, and then they'll jack it up to around $650, then $700. So I have a 4060 ASUS ROG and a Razer Blade 16 5070, and I like the ROG Strix with the 2060 much more. Yeah. Yeah, it would. It would have a lot more legroom there, Force Gaming. It definitely would. That's the reason why I'm telling everybody right now, best to wait. You're just best to wait before buying a graphics card, because we don't know if they're going to launch it after September or not. Okay, there's rumor and talk about them launching right after, either on September or after September this year. So if we're lucky, we'll see it this year before Christmas. And I'm sure they're going to bring down the price, and I'm sure everybody's going to be wanting a 5070 Super. That's going to be the card that everybody's going to be looking at. That and the 5080, which is going to have 24 gigabytes of VRAM. So 18 gigabytes and 24 gigabytes. It's a decision everybody has to make. But they're talking about that the 5070 is going to carry the same performance. The same performance. The 5070 Super is going to carry the same performance as the 5070, just going to have more VRAM. And the 5080 is going to carry the same performance as the 5080 Super. It's just going to carry more VRAM. They're not making any extras from what I heard. But you guys are probably hear different from me anyway. So, you know, that's the reason why I'm listening to you guys, to see what you found out. Now, I already know what I found out, but I bought the 4070 at launch. Me too. No, actually, my bad. I did a month later because I was unsure about it, but I got mine a month later. My bad. You're waiting for the 7000 series. I'm saving now. Maybe if you're a good boy, you can get a 7080 for $1,500. Oh my God. Are you guys really going to go there with that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, you never know. You might get lucky and get one. Enos says 4060 ROG Strix 2025. Much better than Razer Blade. Somehow Razer Blade 5070 2025 laptops. Gotcha. Force Gaming says, is that a Dairy Queen cup? Just curious. Also, is that a 4070 box? This is not a Dairy Queen cup. There you go. There you go. Not a sponsor, by the way. And yes, this is an ASUS dual 4070 box. And right below it is a Power Color 7800 XT. Hellhound. Yes. That is. So. Very bad. I don't like the 5070 normal. I wouldn't blame you. 4060 does the job very good with AI scaling. Well, that's cool there, Enos. Spent $3K for Razer Blade 1650-70. It always crashes. Yep. But my 4070 right here, my gem, doesn't seem to like to crash anytime soon. That's why I don't like that's why I'm not leaning towards the 5070 until they show me something that's going to be spectacular with the 50 series. I haven't seen nothing spectacular as of yet. Because hey, look, I'm going to tell you guys like this. NVIDIA don't send me graphics cards. AMD does not send me no graphics cards. None of these companies sent me any graphics cards. This is bought and paid for by me. You get my point? Bought and paid for. All the CPUs, the Ryzen CPUs I have here, I bought. Everything here I bought, except for what was donated to the channel by Mr. Machine, which we do thank you kindly. He donated 2 graphics cards, you know. But everything here is bought and paid for by me. So, that way I don't look like I'm bought and paid for by these companies. Yes, you did, Machine. You sent me the 7600 and the 5500, and it is appreciated. But it has a very nice OLED display. Okay. Kind of sounds like a pre-built. Oh, neat cup. Well, see, you got to understand how my cup works. When you put ice in the cup, okay, understand this. When you put ice in the cup, the first cup, okay, I can't even get it out of there now. Oh, the first cup stuck to the second cup. So you're kind of SOL there. Okay, the idea is this. First cup to the second cup condenses water because of the ice. So to keep your cuppy tray without getting water in it, you put a third cup in there. So the first cup will bleed into the second cup, which will bleed into the third cup. So basically, by the end of the day, the bottom of these cups are filled with a little bit of liquid, about this much, because of the condensation. So this outside cup never condenses in your cup holder because it condenses inside of the first and the second cup itself. Did I lose you? It's a thermal thing. And it works every time. Thermal 1 to thermal 2 to thermal 3. Thermal 3 gets hot, evaporates the water in thermal 2 cup, so thermal 1 condenses the water into thermal 2. You know, it's kind of an experiment. So, oh, it's a good old bipolar cup pop. Yeah, it is. Those, so 5090 featuring arson connectors. Yeah, burn your house down. There you go. End of story. Yes, machine. Yes, you did send the graphics cards, and that is much appreciated, my brother. Forest Gaming says Razer Black Shark V2 Hyperspeed Wireless Gaming Headset. Any thoughts? I'm needing a headset as my Corsair, let's say HS55, decided to fall to pieces. Me? Guys, I'm going to be like this. Headsets are headsets. Go to Walmart. No, don't go to Walmart. My bad. Don't even go to Walmart. Don't even think about it. If you need a microphone on your headset, best to shop on Amazon. Or depends on what store you want to go to. My headset, I paid $10 for. The store's over here. I paid $10 for them. Comes with the headset and mic. I don't do wireless. I don't do wireless at all. You notice I don't have a headset on now, don't you? See? I got my own headset right here. I could hear everything nice and crystal clear. I could hear the background, me talking at the same time. I got a great headset, don't you think? My headset's got talkback. I had to throw that in there. So. Well, y'all wondered what kind of headset I had. There it is. It's called my instant headset. I can hear everything. Everything. Yeah, there you go. Hashtag brain power. Yeah. Well, you guys, you know, I mean, I could hear everything with my note my. Believe it or not, my headset is wireless too. Doesn't take batteries. Doesn't take nothing. I hear everything. The brain. Pretty much, yeah. Well, I tried to make it funny with you guys, you know, simple, straight, and put. You know, I just make it funny. You want to know what my headset is? I don't have one. You know why I never need a headset? Let me explain to you why. It's called because I got an HD TV. It's a smart TV, which has a speaker in front of it that I can control the volume and everything else. So I can barely hear it, just a little bit on the crackle. And I got a 12-year-old microphone. This is a Logitech microphone. This is 12 years old. 12 years old, guys. 12 years old. Sensitive as hell. Hear that? That is sensitive. That mic is more sensitive than my ex-wife. Don't you know? So, just a change of Coors beer from time to time. Well, you guys asked. I don't have anything special here. I make do with what I have. Just like your everyday gamer makes do with what he has. And you make it work. Even though you guys don't like my microphone. I know it. I've had many people tell me and leave me emails saying, I don't like your microphone. I think your microphone sucks. They said that. I'm like, okay, is it not crystal clear? Is it irritating? Is it raspy? Is it sounding like a robot? You guys tell me. I want to know where they're coming from, why they don't like my microphone. I really don't know. What is it they don't like about my microphone? Oh, because it doesn't look like I got a big, you know what, stuck in my face? Doesn't look like I'm chewing on a sponge? Is that what it is? I don't have something like I'm chewing on a sponge? I could say something else, but I ain't going there. You guys can use your own imagination for that. So, it's not the greatest, but at least I hear ya. That's the only thing that really matters. In fact, you sound pretty normal. Didn't even know you had a crappy mic. Yeah, believe it or not. Got a 12-year-old Logitech microphone. It works. End of story. It works. And that's what matters, as long as it works. That's the whole point I'm making. Doesn't matter how you can take somebody's old crappy PC, make it into a gold mine. What I mean by that, you can make it into a powerhouse for a gaming PC. You can get 50 to 60 FPS off of it. You can rock some games. So, I mean, it's not hard. Better than some headsets, I'll tell you what. Yeah. This is the only microphone I ever found that the ohms on the microphone is set really good. It's a weird setup, but it works. See, the thing is, you can't hear my computer running. You guys don't hear my computer. This is how far my computer's right here. Oh, right here. My computer is right here. Microphone's right here. About that much. You guys can hear when I move the microphone, but you can't even hear the fans on my computer. And I'm not using no suppressors. It's just running willy-nilly. So. Yes, for the topic discussed, an old headset is a great choice. Yeah, I agree. Because if you get you can get a different. I like ceramic the ceramic microphones. Ceramic microphones get a little bit better sound when it's transmitting to you guys, I think. Some were built with a little bit of ceramic to it. Some were just built good to last. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So, like I said, I make do with what I have. Until it breaks, I'm going to keep using it. Simple. Until it breaks, I'm going to keep using it. And yes, if you guys are wondering, I did change some of my screens for the background. So I'll show you what I've done so far. There's one. If it plays nice. There's another one. I like this one. As this was like a representation of my B550-A motherboard. Strix. For AM4. So I did that one. I got 3 screens. You know what? I'm tired of fussing with that. I keep forgetting I got 3 screens. So we'll just go into it. Done this one. Done that one. Let me go back to the other one. Done that one. Done that one. Done that one. You guys know that one. Done that one. Done that one. And that's it so far. I'll do 1 or 2 tomorrow. So there you go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done. There we go. The reason why I'm tired of going on Google Images looking at everybody else's. I'm just gonna, make my own. Just my little way of doing things originally, I guess. So. The red image is the guy Joker or John Wick. Which scene there, MTBK? The one that let me go back to it. This one? You talking about that one? This right here? Good point. This was supposed to be for Control. This was supposed to be for the video game Control. That's what this was about. So, John Wick, I don't know. I doubt that's John Wick. So, I don't know. But there you go. There you go. It could be John Wick. The Joker or John Wick. No. Yeah, I got you. Excuse me there, Jeremy. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you what I had cooking. I listened to everything you guys were saying. You made some valuable points. But just remember, if you know somebody out there that's kind of lending a hand, always remember and put their hand out for them and say, hey, if you need a hand, we'll help you out. I always say that. I always try to help everybody out. If somebody comes to me and says, I'm stuck on something, I'm not going to go back at them and say, okay, and then walk away from them. No, I'm just going to help them. I'm going to take them to that next level. That's just me. Do I ask anything out of people? No, that's not me. That is not me. People want to donate to the channel, they do. That's up to them. That's the reason why I didn't put any advertisements on my videos. You think that's kind of costing? Yeah, it does. But to gain subscribers and have more viewers and everybody enjoying the videos and stuff, yeah, that's what I want too. As many things I want. But I'll get it sooner or later. I'll get 1 million subscribers. I'll get 10 million subscribers. I'll get 100 million subscribers. Well, actually, no, because I think, what is it, 130, well, probably 136 million. But if I did get 136 million subscribers, then guess what? I think I would have everybody in the United States. Close to it. So, if I were to have 2 billion subscribers, then I would fall to pieces. Then y'all had to pick me back up. I'd fall to pieces. I really would. So, The bench system looks nice. Unlike Austin Evans, you don't use the cardboard box as a PC case. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I remember that. I watched that video where he went head to head with Jay's 2 cents. And what was it? Yeah, Austin Evans built one PC in a cardboard box. I could, but then I would have to get more creative, and then I would have to get some fiberglass and make a fiberglass case, you know, around the cardboard. And then I would have to get really creative with the fiberglass. You don't hear too many people making a fiberglass PC case. That would be interesting. That you can shape the fiberglass and everything, and it would be heat resistant. So you could use fiberglass if you do it right, and it would be heat resistant. And you can make it look like your car, making it look like a showroom finish kind of car. Treating your PC case, making it look like it came off the showroom floor kind of thing. That would be sick. That would be sick. Plus the case would probably be about maybe 40 pounds. Jeez. I ain't going any further than that, because you guys know if I would have went any further than that, I would have said, you know, well, I knew this girl once, and, you know, my PC case weighed just as much as she did. You know, okay. I ain't going there with that. So you know how that goes. He built a system like this twice, and I lost his only once. Wow. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I would like to do a PC case, doing it very precisely, making it lightweight, making it out of fiberglass. That would be a sick build. Going from the beginning to the end, and give it a showroom car finish, especially on the inside where the motherboard is. You can make it like a pearl essence blue, if you like blue, or a pearl essence red. You can do it that way. I think that would look sick. You know, especially when you put a little pearl to it, and you put a buff and wax on it. Man, I don't know, guys. I'm just thinking outside the box right now, you know, just thinking outside the box, giving some people some ideas of what they could do. And if they ever decide if they want to build one like that, then, you know, that'll be cool. Just make sure you show some pictures so that way we know what you're doing. So, you know, that'd be cool too. I think that would be really cool. That gave me a good idea for a tower case. You know, a good sized tower case. You know, I would say about from the desktop to right about there, right about here. That would be a good tower case. And put water cooling in it too. Wow. That would be a sick case. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Remember, if you want to become a Discord member, where we're on and you don't want to miss any of the action, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and create a link for everybody that wants to join. And I will post it into the local chat. But remember, you only can get it if you're going to get it on the live stream. So, I will pin it just for you guys. But make sure you get it in the next 5-6 minutes. If you can't, then let me know. Leave a comment on the video. Say, hey, I want to become a part of the Discord. I want to be a Discord member of the channel. And then I'll send you a link. It's no big deal. I'll take care of you either way. So it's all good. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I know it's a little bit early for y'all, but we've been rocking a couple hours, so we did pretty well. And it looks like that I didn't have any internet issues or anything tonight. Thank God. But anyway, guys, I want to say y'all have a great evening. Thank you for hanging out with us here. And thank you for all the comments you put out there. We do appreciate it. We took everything you said into consideration. There's more great times to come, so keep that in mind. We're always having fun. But remember, you have some fun too over on Discord. You want to get on the Discord, I left a link in the local chat. So all you got to do is click on it and join the fam. But we're going to jump out of here. You guys have a great evening. And if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Don't forget about the notification bell so you know when I post the next video. Until the next time and the next video, you guys know who it is. We'll see you on the next one. Be safe, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.